Welcome to the Double R Show, the podcast that features everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, directed and produced by Paul Robertson and hosted by the voice of Lincoln City, Roger Robertson.
In year number 4, we continue to look at what has happened and happening in and around the Lincoln City community. Greetings, I'm Double R, Roger Roberts, along with son Paul, and today we'll have an opportunity to do a special in-depth interview with the city manager for the city of Lincoln City.
Yeah, a lot going on right now, and Daniel Hunter's going to be on for a 2-part interview, and then we're also going to have someone else too, right?
Yeah, going to have somebody else, and we'll have an opportunity to find out a little bit more about the food bank right here in Lincoln City. It is a critical part of the economy. Not only the economy, but making certain families have enough to eat. So we'll talk about food, we'll talk about what happened over the 4th of July, and some other activities that are coming up for the city of Lincoln City as well, including the building.
City Hall itself, yeah.
That and more right after this.
Books and puzzles have one thing in common. Bob's Beach Books in the Ocean Lake area of Lincoln City. Books for every interest, books by authors from around the world and across the street. Visit Bob's Beach Books so you can say, I have read a good book lately.
If you're looking for great early garden fresh produce, it's Kenny's IGA in the Bay Area of Lincoln City. 4 generations of Morgans caring for your every grocery need. All of your favorite beverages, a full deli, meat, produce, and of course, groceries. Welcome back to the Double R Show. With us is the city manager for the city of Lincoln City, Mr. Daniel Hunter. 4th of July celebration has come and gone. Your take?
Overall, I think it went pretty well. There was, both positives and negatives coming out of it, and I think the negatives we can adjust and correct those for the next year's show. And I think the positives that came out of it were traffic was lower than we were anticipating. The crimes were lower than anticipated, or lower than they were the prior year. People were able to view the fireworks from a broader area rather than all being clustered down in Taft, and they were spread out among the community and able to watch it from their homes in many cases.
I saw you down in the Taft area next to Moe's during the course of the day. You must have been receiving lots of good, bad, and indifferent reactions.
No, not really for the fireworks show. I think those that were aware of what was going on and were aware that it was happening on the lake were fine with that, because we had public meetings and town hall discussing just that. And people that may have been upset probably were not plugged in and didn't pay attention to that, and so they were also probably not at the events down in Taft during the day, or they didn't know I was there, or didn't know that I was the city manager, and so they just walked by.
The events down in Taft seemed to be well attended, and people were really enjoying it.
Yeah, I think by and large, most of the people down there were having a great time. There was good entertainment, some good food. ELC was down there, Explore Lincoln City was down there with stickers and hats, and the hats ran out fairly quickly. And fortunately, I got one, so I only got burnt on the lower half of my face, and that's what ultimately ended up rushing me home, because I didn't have sunscreen and was getting burnt. So went home and stayed there until just before the fireworks started that evening.
I know for the fireworks myself, I was in Brown Bear Park, and it probably took me all of 10 minutes from Brown Bear to Holmes Road when the fireworks were over. I had absolutely no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah, and so I think that's very similar to what we've heard thus far from folks that were commuting by car. The congestion on 101 was a lot lower than anticipated. And the one thing I would say is, coming out of Regatta Park, the shuttles, we're going to double up on those next year, just so people don't have to sit there and wait for over an hour for a shuttle to get back to the community center to get to their vehicles so they can go home.
So hearing your response to that, it sounds like you've already made the call where the fireworks are going to be next year.
Well, it's ultimately not my call, but that's a place that works, and we know how to make it work now. And relatively easy compared to trying to get it done in Taft. And I think that was the other complaint that we received predominantly, was that it was not in Taft anymore, and why were we doing that? And it's, leaving Taft out of the fireworks show. And, I realized that that's a deviation from past practice, even before the drones from last year. But doing it in Taft also leaves out 3/4 of the rest of Lincoln City. And so that causes the congestion that people often experience in Taft in previous years, was everybody from the rest of the city going down there to watch it. The problem is doing them down there, we would have to get now 3 permits from the state in order to have the show down there. And the third permit is the same type of permit you would have to get if you were putting in cobblers or something on the beach to prevent erosion. And you have to justify why you're changing the beach. And we just didn't feel that we could provide sufficient justification for why we're changing the beach when we weren't actually changing the beach, because we were just doing fireworks. And it was really problematic. And then there was concerns about disturbing wildlife down there, because we've got sea lions and potentially snowy plovers. Although it's not a snowy plover management area, there was still concern about them nesting in the area, and the fireworks possibly disturbing them nesting. And so the decision was made, because of the permitting issue and wildlife down in Siletz Bay, that we'll just move it up to the lake and do it there. And that was chosen as the location just because the fallout area around where the fireworks are shot off really prefer to have someplace that's not going to be ignitable or susceptible to starting on fire when the fireworks ultimately fall down to the ground or the water.
And speaking of fire, we did have a fire one instance. You got to be pretty thankful for the fire department here in town for their quick response.
Yeah, so not only thankful to North Lincoln Fire and Rescue, but to the police department and to the homeowners that were on that ridge that were getting evacuated, but also had surveillance camera of the area from their homes. They were able to provide that video to the police department, who ultimately captured the people who started the fire.
And of course, that will play out down the road in court.
Correct. Out of my hands.
Your hands, that's nothing you need to worry about. So, other things that happen over the 4th of July, and we talked a little bit about Taft, the music, all those type of things, will that happen again, you think, next year?
I certainly hope so, and I think there were a couple of other activities that were just community members doing things in other areas. I know there was a hot dog feed at the Eagles in Nelscott, and things farther up in Ocean Lake, and people just taking it on their own initiative to make the holiday something special for other people, and that was appreciated, and I hope that continues into the future.
All right, Daniel Hunter is our guest right now on the Double R Show. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk a little bit about this building we are seated in right now, what's going to happen or what may happen. There's some options on the table. That and more right after this.
Hi, I'm Tammy Viles with WaFd Bank in Lincoln City. We take care of all your banking needs, including business lending, lines of credit, and checking accounts that work as hard as you do. We're also proud to be an SBA preferred lender. When you're ready to grow, we're right here with you. WaFd Bank, built for business.
Member FDIC. Loan subject to credit approval.
War Greatest Hits Tour Live, the 50th anniversary of their greatest hits album.
Right, drives a little slower.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. This gold kid was a friend of mine.
Saturday, July 18th, Chinook Winds Casino Resort. War, one evening with all their greatest hits. Reserve seats on sale now at ChinookWinds.com or by phone at 1-888-MAIN-ACT or at the casino. Chinook Winds, where concerts are better at the beach.
Home-style cooking in a hometown atmosphere. Hi, I'm Adina from Zeller's Restaurant in Rose Lodge in Lincoln City. Join us daily for good fun and great food. You can even kick up your heels at Zeller's.
We're talking with the city manager of City of Lincoln City, Mr. Daniel Hunter, and we prefaced this with a idea of what may or may not happen with this building. You've got some options on the table. Where's that whole process at
Yeah, so we've had, a couple of work sessions with City Council. Some of them actually occurred prior to my arrival. The last one was shortly after I arrived, and then we held a couple of town halls to get the public's input and really explain the current condition of this building. Operating costs for us are over $1 million, and that's not including maintenance. And there's significant deferred maintenance that needs to be done, but we can't do because we don't have the cash flow in our budget to actually do that maintenance. And that's largely because it is really 3 times the building that we need. We need for programming for both City Hall and the library. And City Hall, when I say that, I mean, administrative, human resources, finance, public works, urban renewal, economic development, IT, and Explore Lincoln City. And all of those collectively I'd refer to as City Hall because it's
Sure.
basically the floors above the library for people to understand what I'm talking about. And then the library. So both of those operations, programming-wise, they need about 30,000 feet combined. And this building is 110,000 square feet. So there's significant space in this building that we're not using, and because of the condition of both the HVAC and the water inundation into the building, it's not a space that's going to be easily rented out to somebody for an income, and that's part of the reason why the restaurant up on the top floor is not currently being leased out. Is because there's issues there with water inundation, primarily from the balcony side where the glass face is. Most of the water's coming in either through the glass frames, which the steel frames, majority of the building has steel frame windows. They're rusted out and have holes in them. And if it's not that, then the cap on the roof ledge is leaking, or the flat roof on top leaks. That's also the case with the parking area on top of the McKay's Market. That is getting water inundation down into the store, primarily in their loading dock area. The water is coming in there. And so it's not only an issue for us, but it's also an issue for McKay's to try and deal with. And there's also some structural reinforcement that would need to occur for that parking area to continue, and then a redeck of the surface because it's old and it needs to be structurally reinforced because it was built in the mid 80s for vehicles that weighed half of what they weigh now. So it's if you get an electric vehicle up there, it weighs more than my 40-year or 30-year-old Ford full-size pickup. So vehicle weights are going up, and the ability for that parking area to sustain the weights not increasing to keep pace.
That's my understanding. You've got 3 options so far on the table?
Yeah, so we've been working with Bearing Architecture and Walsh Construction on getting some options together, and then that's what we've gone to the town halls to discuss with the public and really get a sense from the public on what they would like to see. One of those options is basically remodel this entire building, strip it down to its bones, and then rebuild it for what's actually the space we need, and then we can lease out the additional space for some other business or operation. That also would include some kind of security improvements, because we had years ago DHS come through and do a security assessment of the building, and it was horrible because we've got multiple entry and exit points, and they're not secured during business hours because we're above a public building, and so that creates a security issue for not only the public but for city staff. And the other option would be to demolish this building, maintain McKay's, and construct a new city hall and library for a smaller footprint on the same land here. And then the third option is to sell this property and relocate and construct a city hall and library on another piece of property. And we are planning on closing on that property on Friday. So following Friday, I should be able to share more details on where that's at, because presently, because we're currently in negotiations, technically I can't share it, so we're not in competition with others trying to run up the price and therefore cost taxpayers even more. But Urban Renewal is pursuing that property because they have in their plan to put a water reservoir on the property already. And so the land there is big enough for the water reservoir, roadway in, and then to locate a city hall and library there. It would also provide at some future point an additional north-south route out of the tsunami zone in addition to Highway 101. And 101 in that area is in the tsunami inundation zone. And it's south of where we currently are, but not by a lot.
Finally, let's talk a little bit about the building that you going up right now at the D River.
Yeah, so the D River Welcome Center, it is, last I heard, scheduled for completion mid-January, although I've got a wager, friendly wager, nothing actually exchanging hands, with Kim Cooper Finley, the ELC director, that I anticipate it being done before Christmas, and that's just because I've been in construction, and the workers down there will want to get it done before the holidays, so that when the holidays are over, then they're off to a new job, not coming back here for a couple of weeks and then off to a new job. So I'm hedging my bets on that, being consistent over the years, because that's the way we would have done it, and just bust our rears to get it done before the holidays and go on to the next job. So she's thinking it will be later than that, but I'm hopeful that it will be sooner.
You bring to the table of the city manager an entity or something that I did not realize, the building background.
Yeah, so years ago, even before I was in the military, I did construction. Started off doing concrete flat work, that then transitioned into framing, that transitioned into electrical. I was really searching for something that would actually provide me an income. The folks I was working for, I wasn't the independent contractor myself, but I was working for others. They were just too small to keep me working all year round, and so that ultimately led me to needing to do something else with my life, and I figured I'd give the military a shot. So that's when I enlisted, and then went on with the rest of my life and said goodbye to construction.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Daniel Hunter, City Manager, City of Lincoln City. We'll be back in just a moment.
I'm Josh Zantello with Zantello Law Group, and we are fortunate to have a number of attorneys in our office that specialize in a variety of law fields. Call our office and set up a free consultation. With our field of experts, you're never alone.
Wouldn't it be great to have all your insurance needs handled by one agency? This is Charlotte Lado with Farmers Insurance and the Insurance Store. Visit our office next to the Wildflower Grill in Lincoln City. Let us be your one stop for your personal, commercial, health, and Medicare insurance needs.
Joining us next on the Double R Show, we have the manager for the Lincoln City Food Pantry, Cindy Wilson, with us. Thanks for coming on board.
Thank you for having me.
The food pantry has got to be one of the busiest places in Lincoln City at this point in time.
I would say so, yes. We are actually the largest pantry in Lincoln County as well.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yes, sir.
Really? In volume, number of people that are coming in, or what?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
Number of people. We average about 500 families a month, which from what I've heard about the other pantries in the county is quite a bit bigger than anything else anybody's seen.
500 families a month
Yes,
is a
sir.
lot of food.
It is, yes, sir.
And how does that measure out? I mean, in poundage?
We give out approximately 32,000 pounds of food a month.
Wow. And where does it all come from?
We get a lot of donations from our local grocery stores. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we'll make rounds and pick up from Safeway, Grocery Outlet, McKay's, First Choice, Kenny's IGA gives us food too. And then we also get an order from the Lincoln County Food Share in Newport.
Okay.
So anything that they have available, we can order, and they'll deliver that once a week as well.
And in that food basket, is it what you would expect to find on the grocery shelves?
You mean the stuff that we give out?
Mm-hmm.
So we try to give a well-rounded amount between, dairy, meat, bread, cereal, that kind of stuff. Sometimes we get the stuff that we need donated. Sometimes we don't. So if we're, for example, if we don't get enough of, cereal, peanut butter, that kind of stuff, then we'll go purchase and try to make sure that what we give out is, kind of well-rounded for the family.
So when you go to purchase the food, we're not talking about walking into a grocery store and buying 10 cases of peanut butter. Or
yes,
are
yes,
we?
we are.
Oh, we are.
Yes, we are. We do a lot of our shopping at the Dollar Tree, to try to keep the cost down on what we spend. And then I've created these little flyers that I hand out if people are asking, like, what kind of things do we want donated? So I listed on here the things that we usually have to buy in hopes that, people will donate those items instead so that we can, cut our cost on spending
So
money.
on that list, you have what?
The things that we normally run out of are things like peanut butter, cereal, rice, jelly, canned fruit, canned meals like SpaghettiOs, ravioli, that kind of thing, chili. Those kind of things are good for our friends that don't have houses. So we try to
A lot of homeless.
provide for them
Okay.
as well. Yes, sir.
Okay. It still astonishes me the amount of food that you are giving out in a year.
Yes, sir. And it grows every year. I did looked at some numbers back, like in 2021, when we started. The pantry used to be a place where you could come and shop. Volunteers would walk through, and then COVID, of course, changed that. And we found that with the amount of people that we have now, there's no possible way for us to go back to that shopping option. But in 2021, for example, we served 2,800 families in that year. 2022 was over 4,000, so that was almost double. 2023 was over 5,000, and then 2024 and 2025 was over 6,000. So every year we're gaining about 1,000 families a year that need help.
Now, is there means testing who can go to the pantry?
There are requirements, income requirements, TFAP. We don't police that. We do have it posted, so people are supposed to follow those regulations. But from what I see, for the most part, the families that come and see us are definitely in need.
So can I come month after month, or is it I come 1 month and I'm done for the year? Or
So we don't ever turn anybody away.
Okay, very good.
What we try to encourage is for families to come once a month. But if they run out of food and come more than once a month, then we'll give them what we call an emergency box. We try to provide for everybody as much as we can.
When you talk about a family, are we talking about 4 people or 2 people or 3 people? Or does it
Anywhere
make any difference?
from 1 and up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a tremendous amount of food.
It is. It is. We're very thankful for, if it weren't for our grocery stores here in town, there's no way we would make it. The amount of stuff that they donate every week.
Is it primarily produce?
Produce,
or what?
milk. When we receive donations from people, we can't receive things that need to be refrigerated or frozen, because there's requirements for, to keep the temperature of the meat and the dairy.
Sure.
So when individuals donate to us, it's canned and dried goods. But without the grocery stores donating, the dairy and the meat and that kind of stuff, I don't think we could function.
So the lion's share of your money that comes that you use to buy food stuff, where does that come from?
So we work only off of donations and grants.
Okay.
We're very blessed with our community, the groups like Rotary, the Elks, Kiwanis, all of those kind of groups. Almost all the churches in town will bring us financial donations. Individuals, I get checks in the mail just about every day. Sometimes it's $20. Every once in a while, it's $800, And then I apply for grants to the county, the city, anything that I can find that's helpful, just, to make sure that we're able to keep functioning.
That's got to be a task all to itself.
It is, but, it's very rewarding, to just be able to help people, and everybody that comes is just so grateful. I know a lot of times it's a humbling experience for people to come and ask for help,
It's not comfortable.
Yeah. So we try to make it the best experience we can. And, when people say thank you or appreciate it, it just, that's all I need.
And finally, it is volunteers that do all of the work, correct?
For the most part. We do have a few paid employees for continuity purposes. I do all the paperwork, the monthly reports, the grants, and then...
Whatever you get paid is not nearly half what it should be.
Well, thank you. We do have a couple other paid employees that, regularly pick up the groceries and stuff just because, volunteers come and go, right?
Sure.
But other than that, we also have people that do community service that come and work at the pantry. And a lot of times they'll stay after their community service because it is rewarding.
That's marvelous. We appreciate you being here. And again, if somebody wants to write a check, where do I send it? How do I get it to you?
Well, you can bring it to the food pantry. We're
Where
open,
is located at?
1505 Northeast 6th Drive.
Thanks to a church.
Yes. Coast Vineyard Church hosts the building that we're in. And we're very grateful for that. We also have a P.O. box if people wanted to mail a check. P.O. Box 1260 in Lincoln City, 97367. I'm happy for people to come and bring donations because then I can meet them and thank them personally. Yeah. And also they could donate online through the church. Coast Vineyard has a website that will allow people to donate through there to the food pantry.
And finally, Cindy, the pantry is open when and what days?
Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 6, and the third Saturday of the month from 10 to 12.
People helping people. Cindy Wilson, thanks for being here. Thanks for everything that you and your staff do.
Northwest Septic Service is your one-stop shop for all your septic needs.
Northwest Septic Service offers pumping, maintenance, repair, and inspections with one call, 541-994-6977.
Buying or selling a home? Northwest Septic Service can inspect your sewer line or an entire septic system.
Old or failing septic system? Northwest Septic Service can rejuvenate most drain fields, saving you thousands of dollars. 541-994-6977.
Serving Lincoln, Tillamook, and Yamhill counties, Northwest Septic Service.
War, Greatest Hits Tour Live, the 50th anniversary of their Greatest Hits album, Saturday, July 18th, Chinook Winds Casino Resort. Reserved seats on sale now at ChinookWinds.com. Chinook Winds, where concerts are better at the beach.
And welcome back to the Double R Show. Again, our thanks to City Manager for being on a two-part series. Normally we don't do that, Paul, but I just felt it critically important to talk about what happened over the 4th of July and then what is happening with the building itself, City Hall, what's going to be and what could happen.
Yeah, it was important stuff to catch up on, and thanks also to Cindy Wilson for being on, talking about the food bank.
Yeah, we can't overstate how important that food bank is to the families that are here in North Lincoln County. We have families that would go without feeding their children or themselves without that food bank. So support it every chance you get. Birding by the Dee River. This is a special activity put on by the Seven Capes Bird Alliance. Bite-sized bird walks at the world's shortest river. This takes place the first and third Saturdays of July and August from 10 until 11:30. We've talked about this before, the BB camp, the day camp, going through August 7th, Monday through Friday, 9 until 1. Lots of activities for the kids. You've been out there yourself. You've seen what happens out at the BB camp.
Yeah, it's a remarkable facility out there, and they've just got all sorts of great things to do, from crafts to swinging on the high ropes, I think, right?
And a great swimming pool.
Yeah, and the lakes there. And heated.
and there's just so many things happening with that. Plus, good food, very good food for the children of the community. Lincoln City Cultural Center proud to announce the opening of the new membership show. This is in the Chessman Gallery. It goes through August 30th of this year. A wonderful opportunity to see the artisans at work that help to produce the cultural center and keep it up and
yeah,
going.
That member show, and there's talented people that are members of the cultural
huge.
center, obviously, and it's an opportunity to show their skills and their wares, and Krista Eddy does a great job curating that year round.
And you'll have an opportunity to visit with lots of people this weekend out at Knight Park.
Yeah, Knight Park on July 18th. That's this Saturday from 1 to 5 is the first part of the 50th celebration of the Cascade Head Biosphere region. 50 years old.
One thing that I'm really looking forward to is interviewing the gentleman that really got it up and running.
Jerry Franklin. Yeah, Jerry Franklin's going to be there, part of the first hour, power hour, if you will. And then after about 2 or so, we're going to be starting out with all the recreational things to do, too.
And this guy, 50 years ago plus.
Yeah. Well, he nominated it and it was adopted, in 76. And so I think October 26th, I think, is the official date that we got accepted by UNESCO to be a Biosphere Reserve at the time. Now, Biosphere Region. Of course, the space has expanded tenfold, too, since that date.
Absolutely.
So it's gone from about 10,000 acres to over 100,000 acres, including, of course, the Marine Reserve out to sea, the full watershed of the Salmon River, backside of the lake, and down south through Lincoln City to basically the community college. That's the southern boundary.
It is a marvelous entity in itself, and what it can and does do for the area.
Yeah,
it's getting stronger all the time.
Yeah, so come celebrate from 1 to 5 this Saturday, and then an evening show too, right? We got the night sky at Night Park starts at 8 o'clock. We're going to have world-class astronomer out there. We're going to have world-class music out there. So come back from 8 to 10:15, I think, is when it really gets dusk. That's when we're really going to see some dark skies that we're going to see. But, come and enjoy.
She will have her telescope as well.
Yeah. We already talked about that last time. And it's a giant telescope. I mean, it's deep space. So come out and come through the nighttime there and enjoy Cascade Head and the universe.
Put this on your calendar. The Outsider. This is a play put on by Theater West. The play will open July 30th and continue for a 4-week run each week with a Sunday matinee as well. Tickets are now on sale as we speak through the website. So that is a marvelous play, again, by Theater West right here in Lincoln City. Anything else your side of the table?
We are clear from here. Thanks.
So that'll do it to the Dunes on a Double R show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share so you, your family, and friends around the world and across the street can join us on a Double R show. I don't care if you're in Germany or all the way across the pond, across the Pacific in, let's see, that would be Thailand.
Could be, yeah, Thailand. We got Australians listening in. It's a world-class podcast available around the world.
I love it. We'll join you again next week on the Double R Show. For Paul and Jana, I'm Double R. Have a happy day.
You've been listening to the Double R Show. Join Roger and Paul Robertson as they explore everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, produced by Always Productions and hosted by Roger Robertson. Have a story? Email contact@alwaysproductions.com or call 458-201-3039. For the Double R Show, I'm Jana Grawn.